Hi, everyone. It is your girl. I am Nichelle Nicole, and I am your live host tonight. So if you're stumbling upon this, if you would please chat FYP or share this live, like this live, because I really think this live has the potential to be amazing. And I hope that you that are in here will like, share, follow, comment, and join. All right, so let's get into it. Again, I am Nichelle Nicole, and you have reached the room Confessions of a Recovering Single Mother. And this room is all about empowerment of single mothers. Whether you are a current single mother, a post-single mother like and I say post because I have adult children, whether you don't have children, whatever, this is the space for you. And you may have sisters, cousins, young children, not young children or younger children who are 18, 20, nieces, friends, folk that you know that may be going through something. This is the live for them. And if you hear something that you feel so inclined to jump up and talk about, let's do that. All right, so let's get started. So tonight, what are we exploring tonight? So tonight we are exploring the Scarlet Letter and single motherhood. So we are gonna explore the effects on self-perception, right? How many of you in here even know what the Scarlet Letter is? Has anyone ever heard of that book before? It is a goodie. It's a oldie but a goodie. Have any of you ever heard of the Scarlet Letter? Please comment in the chat if you have. No? Okay, well, let's just get into it. All right, so let's just dive right in. All right, so Nathaniel Hawthorne is the author, and it is in his book, it's called The Scarlet Letter. And in the book, the protagonist is someone named Hester Prynne. And she is literally marked by a scarlet letter as a symbol of her sin, right? So this symbol of her sin was a mark of isolation. And it, isolated her from society, and it also altered her self-perception because she walked around with this big scarlet letter literally on her, as the book recalls. So although this book was written in a different era, the theme of societal judgment and the internal battle that follows is still deeply relevant today, particularly for single mothers. And the reason that I chose the theme of the Scarlet Letter is because sometimes motherhood or single motherhood can be seen as a mark of disgrace. Sorry about that. I'm also trying to moderate the room. All right. So again, Hester Prynne in the book was a female. She was marked by a scarlet letter, which isolated her from society, right? And if you think about single motherhood, sometimes that scarlet letter can also be placed on single mothers. You see it in popular culture. You see it all over TikTok, right? The single mother is the antagonist, right? She's the one that's mad because it didn't go well for her. She's the one that's mad because she didn't get chosen. Well, at least that's what society wants you to think, that if you are a single mom and you're not in marriage, then somehow something is wrong, right? So like the character in the book, Hester, single mothers can often face stigmas and judgments that can impact their sense of self-worth. Society still holds biases against women who are raising children on their own, often leading to feelings of guilt, shame, and inadequacy among these single mothers. These external perceptions can shape a single mother's internal dialogue, influencing how she views herself, her capabilities, and her role as a mother or a woman. So think about it. Are you a single mother? Did your single motherhood alter your self-perception? Do you remember how you perceived yourself before becoming a single mother? All these things are relevant and shape how single mothers may react to certain situations. Now, in the book, Hester Prynne eventually reclaims her identity and transforms the meaning of her Scarlet Letter from shame to strength. Many single mothers embark on their own journeys of self-reclamation. They work to defy societal expectations, and create new narratives of empowerment, resilience, and independence. Now, how many single mothers out there do you know that display those qualities? Empowerment, resilience, and independence, right? You have no choice. But as you are displaying those things, you're often still losing yourself as well, right? So the point of this live and all of my live is to empower single mothers to work past the trauma, right? Work past the trauma and really realize who they are as women so they can heal and move forward in their lives. That is the goal. Now, let's just talk a little bit about the effects on self-perceptions. And if you're in this live, please like the live, please share the live. This is a great live. And guys, this is not the, there's not going to be any tussling in this live. We're not going to argue in this live. We really want to have meaningful dialogue on this app so we maybe can affect someone who is maybe currently going through the battle of single motherhood, who is presently in the battle of single motherhood, or who is on the other side of single motherhood and they are trying to reclaim themselves. And that's what the point of this is. I am on the other side of single motherhood. So I have some experiences that I would like to share with others, and also would love for others to share their experiences. So if you're out there, don't be afraid to jump on the live and let's have a dialogue. That's what we're here for. I'm a stranger. You're a stranger. We can't do anything but help each other in this as women. All right, so let's just talk about the effects of self-perception. So internalized stigma is a big one. So, I'm sorry, I'm stumbling here. So society's negative assumption about single motherhood can lead to self-doubt, feeling marked, hence the Scarlet Letter, or different in a way that creates an internalized sense of failure and inadequacies. Let's just stop there. How many single mothers internalize the fact that they are a single mother, right? It has nothing to do with the children. This is from the perspective of the woman and the woman being a single mother. Did you somehow feel like you failed or that you were inadequate? I can be transparent here and tell you that single motherhood for me did create this sense of internalized inadequacy. And it created a sense of failure because I wasn't chosen, right? That was the mindset I had. I wasn't chosen. And if you look at society, what they tell you is that when a woman and a man is together, get married and have children, they're chosen, right? But in the reverse, when you don't have a child out of marriage, you're somehow seen as less than, correct? You see it. Listen to some of the music and how people talk about the quote unquote baby mamas, which is a term that I absolutely loathe. I do not like that term. It has turned into such a derogatory term. And the empowerment of motherhood is just stripped away when someone is labeled as a quote unquote baby mama. And honestly, I wish young ladies wouldn't even call themselves that. Even with my kid's father, I never said baby daddy, ever, unless I was saying it in jest. I would always refer to them as their father, because there is a negative connotation to baby mama and baby father, right? All right, so if you're in the live and you want to join, please join the live. I'm inviting those in. And if you want to listen, that's fine as well. Please just tap the screen and share the live. So let's talk about shame and guilt. So the pressures to live up to societal ideas of motherhood can result in feelings of guilt for not conforming to traditional family structure, right? That's one of the things that I think that is lost, right? When you have children out of wedlock, there is no traditional family, right? So the mother's here, the father's here, people are jockeying. There's just a lot of chaos. And not only do the kids lose because they don't have a unique family unit. Now, I'm not talking about a family unit that is just a dangerous situation, DV, or some extreme cases. I'm just talking in the traditional sense of family where everything may possibly be okay. Some people feel guilt for that. And I can tell you for myself, that was one of the things that I really felt bad about for my own children and for myself, is that I did not create this traditional family for my children. And honestly, no matter what I did or the things that I exposed them to or the things that they were around, there is some level of hurt that they experienced from that, even though they had a wonderful life outside of that traditional family unit. It's something to be said when you can walk to your mother's room and your father's room and have a conversation with them both at the same time, or when things are going on, you may have mom as the antagonist and dad as the protagonist. You have the good cop or the bad cop. No one parent is shouldering the weight of being the disciplinarian or the fun parent. So there's really something lost when that traditional family structure is not in place. Resilience and strength. Let's talk about it. As a single mom, you have the opportunity to take that quote unquote scarlet letter and turn it from a symbol of shame to a symbol of strength. And many single mothers come to redefine their self-worth, embracing their unique circumstances and emerging stronger, right? We are women. Hear us roar. But if you could avoid that, right? Women are supposed to be able to be soft and be demure. When you are a single parent, a single mother, you have to take on some level of masculinity, right? To keep your family intact, to take care of your children, to make sure that everything is okay, financially, emotionally, physically. You are everything to your children. So mothers, although we have a sense of resilience and strength, women want to be soft. It's just so interesting. I have people that I know that are beneficiaries of having a husband in the home. And the way that they act and they move is just so different, right? They're allowed to be soft. They're allowed to be vulnerable. They're allowed to do all those things as a mom, right? But I guess that's why they tell us you really should have your children with your husband. So let's go to redefining the identity. Single motherhood often forces women to confront and redefine their personal identities, taking ownership of their narratives rather than allowing society to dictate how they should be seen, right? How many single mothers do you know that are hyper ambitious? They're going to school, they're getting the degrees, they're doing all these things because they want to redefine the perception that may be of them. And I'm not just speaking in jest. I can say in my own life experiences These are some of the things that I did. I was super aggressive in becoming accomplished. I wanted to ensure that I had some way to offset the fact that I became a single mother. And again, it has nothing to do with the children. It is the actual act of being a single mother as a person and not the child. And I just want to make sure I'm clear on that. So in both the Scarlet Letter, and if you've never read the Scarlet Letter, it is a great book. It's one of the greats. In the book and in the real world, the experiences of single mothers, the journey is one of reclaiming identity and transforming adversity into empowerment. Single mothers today continue to navigate. Many emerge with a stronger sense of self and a powerful new understanding in their place in society. But on the other hand, right, people can leave those situations with not a strong sense of self. And that is the point of my page and my content, is that I want single mothers to leave their situations or endure their situations or be a part of their situations with a sense of self. It is very important. It is very important that during your journey of single motherhood, post, pre, that you have a sense of self. So what do you guys think about that? Anybody want to jump on? Anybody have any experiences? Anybody have anything that they want to get off their chest? What do you think about single motherhood and people having a scarlet letter on their back as a result of single motherhood? What do you think about that? So if you're in the live, this live is a live for empowerment for single mothers. This live is a live for the empowerment of women who are not yet mothers. And this live is a live for empowerment for women who are on the other side of single motherhood, meaning that their children are adults. So if you fall into one of those categories, this live is for you. If you know someone that falls into those categories, this live is for them. Share it with your sisters, your friends, your TikTok pages. This is a live where we're only going to gain from each other. Right? And if you're in the live, if you drop by the live, please like the live, share the live. Love to hear your comments and your thoughts. Love to hear your comments and your thoughts. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome to the live. Alexa, play R&B music, please.
Here's a station you might like, 90s R&B on Amazon Music.
Hello, hello, hello. If you're in the live, please like the live. And for some reason, my live is not living the way it should. All right. Alexa, number 6.
What do you want to hear?
Volume 6. All right. So, getting back to the subject at hand. So let's just talk a little bit about the Scarlet Letter and single mothers. and how men could possibly view women. And if this is correct to you, say so. If it's not correct to you, hey, let's have some dialogue about this. All right, so Alexa, let's go to 5. It's a little loud. All right, so in the Scarlet Letter, Prin is not only judged by her society, but she's also viewed differently by men, whether through pity, desire, or disdain. The nuanced portrayal mirrors the way single mothers are often perceived by men today. Just as the character in the book, women are seen through the lens of judgment, objectification, and even considering that modern single mothers also experience some of those similar views, they're often shaped by cultural stereotypes and personal bias, right? So how many people happen to be a single mother or know single mothers and felt as though people had perceptions of you, you were typecast into some kind of caricature or some kind of stereotype, or there was some biases against you? You know, from personal experience, you know, when I had my first child, I was 18 years old. And I dated people. And when I dated in a certain socioeconomic bracket, you know, there were people out there that judged me, and they didn't want their sons to date a woman that had a child. So definitely there are people that will judge you. And even beyond that, men will judge you as well. Some men don't want to date a woman with a child, or they have some kind of perceived or preconceived notion of what that woman will be. You can look at social media, and you know, it doesn't take rocket science or a lot of research to understand that this is actually happening in today's society. I don't know if you guys have seen the Balloon Pop, the dating show that is on the app or on YouTube, but listen to the men when they talk to women that have children and how they are trying to put them down or being elitist over them, right? So definitely there is a stigma that is associated with it, and men can sometimes view women in a stereotypical manner. So let's figure out how historical echoes in the modern views, right? So during the time of Hester, which again, this is the Scarlet Letter, the novel, right? So we're drawing references from a novel that was written some time ago to modern day society, right? Because periods change, but themes don't change. So during her time, a woman bearing a child out of wedlock was often seen as fallen or morally compromised, and this perception influenced how men viewed her value and her worth. Today, while societal norms have evolved, single mothers can still experience varied and sometimes conflicting views from men. And if there are any men in this room, let's talk about that. And I think it's important for women to understand that and to protect your bodies. You know, do not just give your gifts to men. Don't just have children for men that you're not married to. Every relationship is not a childbearing relationship. It's just not. And I think as women, we need to understand that. We need to master our emotions and our control. And this is not a judgment. I am just lucky enough now to understand these things. I wish I would have understood those things back when I was in my 20s or when I was in childbearing years. But again, experience, growth, and time will teach you a couple things. So let's just talk about it. Judgment and stigma. Some men may hold on to outdated notions that single mothers have failed in some way, much like the character that we spoke about. She was judged for her moral failures. This view can lead to assumptions that women made poor life choices or is less desirable because of her circumstance, right? Is that not true? How many women have children, have entered the dating pool, and they are judged when it comes the time to ask that question, do you have children? right? Whether right or wrong, this is something that actually happens, right? And if you agree, please tap that screen. So let's talk about pity or patronization. Much like certain characters in the Scarlet Letter, they viewed Hester, the character, with a degree of pity. Single mothers today can be seen by some men as needing help, as needing protection or rescue. This view can be patronizing as it assumes the woman is not capable of managing her life or raising her children independently. I don't know about you, but I don't want someone to date me out of pity. I don't. You know, I want someone to date me because they like my personality, they like how I look, they like what I bring to the table, they like my intelligence. I don't want someone to date me out of pity, right? Also, I don't want somebody coming into my life as a rescuer. I don't need to be rescued. Single mothers don't need to be rescued. And we have to have that mindset, right? We should never go into a relationship as a single parent looking to be rescued, right? Yes, single motherhood is tough. It is. That is no doubt. But we do not want to go into the relationship as needing to be rescued, because in the beginning it's wonderful, but then you become a burden, and you don't want to become a burden because people start treating you differently, and you don't want that. So what do you guys think about that? Do you think that's a pretty fair assessment or not? Put it in the chat if you don't want to jump on. You guys are quiet tonight. Or is this not the audience tonight that is even interested in this topic? All right, so let's also talk about desire and objectification. So for others, single mothers are viewed through a lens of desire. Sometimes we're fetishized for our maternal roles or perceived sexual availability. In the Scarlet Letter, some men were drawn to Hester's defiance of societal norm, which makes her both a symbol of independence and a target of desire. Modern single mothers may similarly be viewed as either off limits or alluring because of their perceived experience of maturity, right? So this is so true, because I remember once when I had a child, you know, some people felt that because I already had a child, that when I had my second child, I somehow should have known better, or I wasn't deserving of certain things, or I wasn't deserving of a particular situation. So women can be objectified, right? Even in a sexual sense. People will say, hey, well, you got one child, you must be doing it, right? No, you don't want to be objectified. So respect and admiration. Now, guys, I have broken these down into themes to keep myself on track. So if any of this resonates with you, please pop it in the chat. Leave a comment, like the live. Pop on the screen. We're going to grow this together. And honestly, this is better than the Puff Daddy news, right? These are things that actually can affect people and help people grow. And that is my entire motive behind my lives. So let's just talk about the single mother with respect and admiration. So just like the character in the book, she ultimately earned the respect and resilience. And by contrary, single mothers today are seen by men as strong, capable, and admirable. This perspective recognizes the strength required to navigate single parenthood and appreciates the independence and resolve such women often demonstrate. Now, this is absolutely true, but it also, some men don't want a strong woman. That same characteristic that people tend to enjoy is also the same characteristic that people tend to dump on single parents or women, period. Recently on the app, you saw these two men going viral because they let a person of a different race talk about African American women in a derogatory manner. And during this conversation, the men were talking about how Black women aren't soft, or they aren't this, or they aren't that. I'm sorry I missed you. If you want to come back on, please send an invitation. I didn't move fast enough. I'm so sorry, Brianna. But let's see here. Single mothers are often a subject of respect and admiration. So let's just talk about how single mothers, or the views that go towards single mothers, can affect relationships. So there could be a perceived baggage, right? So some men may hesitate to pursue relationships with single mothers because they see children as baggage or complications. This can reinforce feelings of inadequacy in single mothers, mirroring the character in the book, right? The sense of exclusion that she felt from her community. Let's dive into that. How many women have tried to explore relationships after becoming a single mom, only to be met with, well, you know what, I really, that you might have a complicated situation, or you have too much baggage for me. Did anyone experience that? I know somebody experienced that. I remember when I had my second daughter, and I was trying to move on from that relationship, and I started dating again, right? And I was talking to this guy for a little second, and he heard my daughter crying in the background, and he was just so negative. Like, is that your kid? He was just really just so negative. And I'm 47 years old, and I remember that. So there is a level of complication that come along with trying to date and being a single parent, especially when you are trying to date at a certain level, for the lack of a better term. So what do you all think about that? Have any of you experienced that? Do I have any single mothers in this room? Anybody experience that? Let's talk about power dynamics. Power dynamics. So men who view single mothers through a lens of pity or patronization may attempt to enter relationships where they can save or control the situation, reinforcing traditional power dynamics and undermining the woman's agency. What do you all think about that? Is it accurate? Have any of you experienced that? Sound off in the comments. These are things that we want to talk about, right? So what about challenging those stereotypes, right? What about doing that? Are there men out there that do that? So on the flip side, many men recognize the outdated nature of these views and respect single mothers for their strength, independence, and ability to balance parenthood with personal growth. There are some men out there that respect single mothers, but there are some that don't. So are there any men in the room that want to join in on this topic? Any women women have any insight on these topics? If you're in here, please like the live. Please say hello. If you're joining the live, please say hello. This topic may be a little too heavy for the TT, but that's okay. That is okay. I think it's worth it. And the audience will grow. The audience will grow. Because there are a lot of single mothers out there that need to heal. There are a lot of single mothers out there that need to know their worth. There are a lot of single mothers out there that need to reclaim themselves. There are a lot of single mothers out there that need to rediscover themselves. And this is what this live is about. This is what this live is about. It is for single mothers to reclaim themselves, to rediscover themselves, to boost their self-confidence and their self-worth. And if you're not a single mother, take some of these experiences and don't become one. Don't do it. Wait till you're in a loving relationship. Wait till there's love, mutual respect. That's what you want to do. So, in conclusion to the reference between single motherhood and the Scarlet Letter, the novel, or the theme of the book, men today in modern society have varied perception of single mothers, often shaped by cultural stereotypes or personal beliefs. While some still view single mothers through the lenses of judgment or pity, many have evolved to see them as strong, capable individuals who defy societal expectations. Just as the character in the book redefined her own worth in the face of societal scrutiny, many single mothers today are challenging these values, these views, and reclaiming their identities, both in relationships and in society at large. So we are reclaiming. But what I would like to challenge women to not even have to go through this. Wait. Find your husband. Find love. Have that traditional family unit. It's better for you. It's better for your children. So how many people out there that are single mothers need to rediscover themselves? I want to know. If you are a single mother and you're in this live, please jump on and share your experiences. Do you need to rediscover who you are? That's what we want to know. We want to know, do you need to rediscover who you are? Join the journey. Right? So here, if you look on here, this is the logo of the podcast that we've created, or I've created. It is called Confessions of a Recovering Single Mother. And what we're going to do is just talk, communicate, bounce things off of each other. We want to heal. We want to prevent. That is the point of the live. Alexa, next. So, anyone in here have anything that they want to jump on and discuss about the topic? No? All right. Well, this has been a wonderful live. I am so excited to grow this community. And please, if you're in here and you follow, please come back. If you're in here and you don't follow, please follow. Until next time, I am Michelle Nicole, and this is Confessions of a Recovering Single Mother. Until next time.